I don't think movie theaters are it, and I don't think TV is it.
For your generation?
Yeah. I think that the web is definitely...
Phones?
I think the iPhone might be it. The iPhone approximates watching a video on the web so closely that it's a seamless integration, you know?
But I watch DVDs. I don't watch TV because I don't have a television.
I don't watch TV.
But I watch TV shows on
me
DVD. To me, it's more about how things get filtered down to me, and it's usually by word of mouth. And I almost think that it's less about discovering a marketing plan and more about discovering more tools for discovery mechanisms, because it's more about getting your work discovered. The problem with you and I is that we don't get discovered by our full audience. We get discovered by only a fraction of our audience.
Like I said earlier, I still don't know who that audience is, though, what age they are, what...
I again think that it's not about marketing to your demographic or to my demographic. I think it's about making what we make as discoverable as possible so that the audience can find the stuff itself and not the other way around.
But what you're saying, I think, is really true for me. I'm never watching advertisements or anything and thinking, oh, that show's gonna be great.
Exactly.
It's always, I'm always hearing it from somebody.
Right, okay, I guess what it is push marketing versus pull marketing. Push marketing, which is like kind of assault marketing, which is posters in the thing, like TV advertisements, radio advertisements, all of the stuff, none of it works. Nobody likes it, banner ads, whatever. But it's all about finding the things that the people around you or people that are like you in other places in the world also happen to like because they heard about it first for whatever reason. And then it somehow trickles down to you, sort of like how Netflix makes recommendations and things like that.
What you're getting at is a social networking type.
Yes, more technology around social networking.
You know? My friend showed me this show called Summer Heights High. I don't know if you guys have shown it. It's like this comedy show from Australia. It's really cool. You should watch it. I had never heard of it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. And then the next day I saw on Facebook Ken Osborne is a fan of Summer Heights High, and I was like, oh, cool, Ken likes that show too. Let me do it. You know, and then all of a sudden I'm like part of a Facebook group, and I like have my friends, and I'm linking it to Joe and saying, you got to check this out. And I mean, that's how I hear about stuff, and that's how I tell other people about stuff.
You just hit it. You just said that. That's how what did you say?
That's how I hear about stuff, and that's how I tell other people about stuff.
We need to listen to that.
Right. That to me is like what I think is creepy is the idea, when I hear marketing, I think of people trying to invade that very natural system and trying to simulate.
We're so savvy with advertisement, I mean, especially our generation, that we reject it.
And that's why I'm interested in more discovery techniques so that the things, you know, if they're going to flow, they flow. If they're not going to flow, they just stay in the shallow end of the pool or whatever.
I think that the social networking is really going to be the key to getting at this audience.
And there's something like, for instance, Joe and I, for Christmas, we got one of those Roku boxes that Netflix has that's like, do you know about these?
Yeah.
If you could sit on your couch and click and see something like Young American Bodies or 4-Eyed Monsters podcast and not know what it is, you would be so much more likely to be like, oh yeah, what's that? And like it's a TV channel, you know what I mean? Not that it's advertised, but that it's there, that it exists. You know what I'm saying?
Screening rooms and social networking sites.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like a screening room in Dig or a screening room in all of the above. Like if I could have my film play in a screening room in all of these places and get those communities, whoever is behind them or not, to discover them at least in that community and then push it.
But it only works if there's a lot of content. I mean, let's just say it's the 4-Eyed Monsters podcast on Facebook. Just like we have malls with lots of little stores, people are going to go because they can find a lot of stuff.
So it's a gathering place, you're saying?
Well, right, but I mean, of course, but people are gathering on Facebook right now, but they're not gathering to watch content. If there was a crap load of content on Facebook.
I think it would be almost more like a screening room where like on Mondays or something like that, like Facebook would screen something, like maybe at a certain time, sort of.
I disagree. I think that what's so great about the internet is you can watch everything whenever you want.
I would tend to agree with her on that.
Maybe it shouldn't be time sensitive, but something where the site brings something to you, as opposed to a Netflix library where you're looking for whatever.
I think you need to be everywhere. I think that you use the social networking, you are on a network. You can't just be like one thing or the other. It has to be a million things.
Here's something I'm doing with my film that I just finished. We sold the film to IFC. We're skipping a theatrical release, and the day that our film premieres at the South by Southwest Film Festival, IFC is making it available on demand in 45 million homes, pay-per-view, basically, video on demand. Because I feel like when a film premieres at a festival, it has its moment of interest, and people write reviews of it and people talk about it, And then what distributors try and do is then 6 months or 9 months or a year later, they try and recreate all of that interest, and they have to pay for it. And ultimately, as a filmmaker, I don't make money until IFC makes all their money back. So what we're going to do is just skip it. We're going to say, look, things have changed. Theatrical distribution is not working for small films like mine. They get all of their attention at film festivals. So we're going to premiere it at a film festival, and then we're going to immediately offer it to people who want to see it all over the country. But this video on demand step, this thing we're going to try with this new movie, is the first step towards what ultimately I would love to do, which is to have it be available on video on demand, to have the DVD be released that day, to have it be available on iTunes, to
Do you know what you just described?
What?
Hollywood.
No, they're not doing
But
that
watch,
yet,
this is what they do. It's the same model. They release the film in the theater.
Yeah.
And then it goes onto airplanes.
Right.
And then it goes to HBO. And then it goes to broadcast.
I'm saying this would all happen the same day.
I know, but maybe that's not so great. Why do that? They've figured out the system already. Maybe that system works.
Not for small movies that only have really one burst of
Oh, okay, because you're saying the momentum's there.
Yeah, we can't pay to get it back every time.
I see where you're...
And then you have a long tail, but it's better to get that burst at the beginning and then have a long tail working.
Yeah, because the movie's not going to go away.
No, it trickles. More people discover it as time goes on.
Well, this will be, this is going to be great, man.
Test.
It's great. It's great. I can't wait to see what happens. Where's your show playing?
What, Young American Bodies? It's playing on ifc.com right now.
Oh, it is. Okay, but it was on that Nerve.
It's co-sponsored by them.
Okay. When we first talked about that, and you said, hey, Steve, I'm going to be on Nerve, check this out. And there wasn't a lot of money involved. And I was like, that's totally cool because you were blazing new trails there, basically. But they got something out of it.
Well, they're doing the model of selling. They're putting a commercial before the episode. So they're getting their money from that old model, like the TV model. Which
they're
is
also trying to build viewership to their sites and build like subscription to their site to a degree.
Yeah. So, but which is great. You know what? That was great. You did something at that time that really wasn't being done. So did you. But now we're all a little older. And now we got to figure out how to make these things fly.
That's ancient history.
Well, according to her.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It's so long ago.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. 3 years. Wow. But whatever. It is ancient history. I'm with you. You know why it's ancient history? Because like my ancient history, things were good for 7, 8 years. Now things are good 3 months. It's constantly. This conversation won't be valid.
That's why Alexander the Last, my new film, is coming out on VOD right away. Is because 3 months is now a long time.
I appreciate that.
And we lose that audience. I've watched it happen to my previous films. There's an excitement, and people hear about the movie, and people are interested, and 6 months later when it comes out, there's new things to be interested in.
And I'm working on a film called As the Dust Settles. And the plan is, like, when it gets into film festivals, to make it available on the web, to make it available for DVD distribution immediately. And, like, I think it's all going to be self-distribution, but it's the same plan.
Yeah.
We're going to make it completely available, like, because you get that first buzz by being in film festivals, getting the press and different people talking about it, and then have it completely available right from the get-go.
You got to have a viral backup plan that launches that's like a rocket.
And to be able
No, seriously, I mean, you got to have figured this out.
To be able to be reading a review of a film on NewYorkTimes.com and then to have a link to that film, that is how I operate constantly on the internet. That is the only way I operate. I mean, even when I'm reading a restaurant review, it's a different model of immediacy. And to be able to have a link to your film, so many people will go see it. I'm convinced of it.
Wait, but is this a link to the actual film or a
To
link
the actual film.
If you put the film online.
Imagine if you're reading a New York Times review of Milk and then they're like, and here's a link to the movie, and you click on it, so many more people would see Milk.
Yeah, but where's the money? I mean, again, I don't take this the wrong way, but they don't want to do that.
No, I haven't figured that part out yet. But I'm just saying, the amount of people that read the review.
If Milk was interrupted by commercials every
like I'm watching, I watch all my TV shows on Hulu, you know what I mean?
Why don't you just put a preview, though, and then make them go pay to watch?
Mine's not available for free on the internet. It won't be.
Oh, yours won't be. Okay.
No, VOD if people will pay for it.
So, but you're going to have, you got to have the rocket viral campaign of previews to get people excited. That you give them that little taster.
What I think is interesting is like her review in the New York Times, if there was a link to a paid screening where you can watch it on the internet if you want for like $5.99 or whatever, but also next to it, okay, it's screening in this theater. Like if I was really pumped about the movie and it was a weeknight and it was because it was Milk and I like really needed to know about that proposition, I might watch it right then and there for money. But I might also see it and go, so let's go see this today. I'm inspired by this like written
Yeah,
review.
I mean, I don't
like,
mean
let's
to
just
imply
go.
that I'm not seeing movies in the theater, because I still am.
Yeah, somebody here said that people aren't going.
Oh, I
think you
love
said
theater.
that.
No, I go to theaters all the time.
But didn't you say earlier that young people don't want to go and pay in the theater? Or they
No, I was saying that the Hollywood has given up on our generation, so they don't make
gotcha,
movies for
okay.
us because they don't think that we're going to pay for them. But they're completely
That
insane.
is like such an open. Just saying that says there's this massive open door here.
Yeah.
Go, somebody do something. You know.